right.
Hi there.
Hi.
Don't talk to strangers.
Again, we apologize for the intrusion.
Let's just get this over with already.
The victim. Yeah, they really like to harass victims in this game. You notice that? He's harassing the teacher. Now he's harassing the groping victim. Stop harassing them.
Okay, bye-bye.
Jesus Christ.
We'll make this quick.
We could use a conversation opener with Mamiya. Let's take a quick look around for something useful.
What the?
A child's drawing, probably of the mother. They put in a nice frame. How cute. Tissue box. No. Artwork. That's shitty. No.
Hey.
Hideous family photo. If I remember correctly, Yui Mamiya lives here with her husband and son. They seem pretty happy in the picture. Where's the husband? Why didn't the husband come out and kick his ass? Say, leave my wife alone, you dick. You fucking piece of shit.
Hey. Suspicious.
I shouldn't stare too long or lead to a grave misunderstanding. My own grave. What? What? Okay.
What the?
What the? Ah! That's Yui, wife, mother, office worker, victim of his perversion. They got on the same train in Ikebukuro. Oh, Jesus. Where she ended up having to suffer through a horror groping her. What's wrong with the kid? Yo, the kid has like ADD or something. Whoa. Yo, he snorted a pixie stick. He's bouncing off the wall over there. What's that? A child's drawing, probably of his mother. They put it in a frame. How cute. It's another one. Oh, I didn't even know you could come in here. I didn't know you could come in here. What's that? A dog. A cute dog. It's the child's report card. All F's. It's an eviction notice.
What the?
Quite the layout they got here. The kitchen is a clear view of the living room.
Suspicious.
Suspicious? It's fucking pots and pans in the kitchen. Suspicious. In my house, I have giant war axes in my kitchen. The place is so clean, even without expecting guests. I ought to do the same with my office. Yeah, you should actually clean your office every once in a while. You disgusting pig.
Hey.
Yagami probably is a disgusting pig. This place is probably a pig sty. I got that feeling out of him. A kid's playset? Must be nice having a place big enough for one of those. It's... Seriously, it's foldable plastically. It's easy to assemble and disassemble. He acts like it's some big deal.
What the?
What the hell? They have a laptop? I'm sure the laptop's full of useful data, but we're not getting to it. What? The laptop is full of useful data. Yeah, like their fucking bills. Their fucking water bill and shit. Very useful data. What is that? Fossil. It's a toy car or something. Fossil.
Hey.
For a married couple only in their 30s, they seem to be living pretty comfortably. Maybe their parents are helping them out too. Whatever the case, they're clearly above average income. Why? Because they have a TV? Dude, Yagami, dude. Hold on a second, dude. Wait a minute, Yagami. TVs are cheap. I mean, the sound system looks outdated as shit. It looks old. It looks like a hand-me-down because there's a fucking turntable on top of it, right? They don't... Just because this place doesn't look that nice. Then again, you know what it is? You want to know why? Because this is Japan. This is Japan. And in Japan, I've told you guys this. Everything is insanely fucking expensive in Japan for no good reason.
Suspicious.
Mamiya's 6-year-old son, cute kid. I guess he's just started grade school. Seems pretty excited by visitors dropping by. Looks like his dad's not home yet. And it also looks like he's doing a pee-pee dance, right? He's doing the pee-pee dance.
Talk. I've already told the police and the court everything they could want to know about that morning.
I'm sorry to put you through this again, but would you mind going over those details with us?
What? No.
What else is left to discuss?
This is what I would say. What the fuck are you talking about?
I understand how pressured you might feel.
I've gone over this so many times. I wonder if pressing charges was even worth it.
No. What you did was both brave and inspirational. Many victims are afraid to come forward for any number of reasons. Your voice might give them courage to find their own.
Ironic. Hearing this from that predator's defense team.
Well, perhaps.
Would you mind walking us through that day from the beginning?
Oh my god.
It's nothing so mysterious. I was just on my way to work when some man grabbed my butt. That's all it was.
Nothing else was out of the ordinary that day?
Correct.
Not to pry, but where is your husband today?
Who?
Still at work?
He's dead.
He usually doesn't get home until later. On that note, I have to feed my son, so let's get this wrapped up soon.
We'll try our best to. Moving along. On that day, you and Ahara-san boarded the train bound for Ikebukuro, correct?
No, we never. It was a plane.
Had you ever seen the
got it all
man
wrong.
before then?
No. At least not that I can recall. How many times must I go over this? Your lawyer friend here already knows everything I have to say. What do you gain by getting me to repeat things?
That's the thing. Yagami-san here is a specialist. He can take whatever you repeat, analyze it, and draw up an entirely new conclusion. Right?
Of course. That's
Yeah.
exactly why I'm here.
Great, now the pressure's really on. Seems to be a recurring thing lately.
In the security footage as you stepped onto the train, it looks like Ahara-san stepped right behind you. Were you aware of his presence at this point?
I was. It felt like someone kept pushing up against me with no sense of personal boundaries. I remember second-guessing myself at the time, thinking it was normal for the train to be that packed.
Then the train took off while you were stuck in that situation.
Yes. And then I felt the back of his hand against me. It kept getting worse from there, to the point where he went under my skirt.
Disgusting.
And the pig had the nerve to write it off as an accidental brush on a crowded train. But that kind of touch wasn't accidental. He even grabbed at me.
Truly awful. And I do sympathize. I've also had to turn in an abuser like that. Personally speaking, some men can't wait to debase themselves at the first opportunity.
I know, men just like this
Why
guy
would
right
you
here.
say
Look
that
at this
and look
one.
at me?
It's terrible.
I just stood there, frozen. I couldn't see who was touching me. I had no idea what to do. I wanted to scream. But what if he just played it off? So I decided I would bear it till the next station.
Are you okay, Mommy?
I'm fine, sweetie. We're just having a bit of grown-up talk. Are you hungry?
Uh-huh.
Then go read your book and wait over there for Mommy. We're almost done.
This is going to be ending soon no matter what. I should keep my questions brief. Oh my goodness. Up to now, I haven't heard any contradictions between Mamiya's account and the security footage.
You said the abuse lasted the entire 6 minutes between Ikebukuro and Shinjuku Station. Did you see the groper's face at any time during that span?
No. I was too terrified to look. And I thought, even if I did, he'd just pull away and escape. But just as the train was pulling into Shinjuku, I reached back and grabbed the hand on me. That's when I saw his face. Of course, he shook me off as the doors opened, but I'd already gotten a clear look at him. He must have known I could turn him in at that point. So he ran, and I chased after.
Right. That was captured by the station's security cameras.
Great job tailing him in such a crowded space. On that note, did you ever happen to lose sight of
Right.
Ahara-san?
What happened in the blind spot? That's what we're trying to figure
His
out.
cap was pretty easy to spot, and no one else was bolting off the platform like that, so I never lost sight of him. At that point, I could feel my voice returning, so I just screamed, "That man grabbed me!"
I'm glad there were good Samaritans nearby.
For sure. And there were a lot of smartphones out, so I figured there was no way for him to get away with it. I was so relieved.
I see. I think I've got the gist of it. But now we've got a piece of evidence that contradicts what you've told us.
What do you mean?
Yui Mamiya's story lines up with her testimony from the trial, but there isn't one thing that contradicts it. Okay. Fleeing the scene, we know. Him getting captured, we know. It would be this. Yep.
Well, on the same day, at 6:30 a.m. in Yokohama, a student teacher named Hiro Mikoshiba was sent off to work by his mother. But he was soon abducted near his home, only to be found dead much later in Ijincho.
Her kid's in the
that-
room, dude.
According to the video, Ahara-san here is the murderer.
What?
He killed Mikoshiba in cold blood to get vengeance for his bullied son. His kid was about to graduate high school, but instead, he took his own life. So Ihara took it upon himself to punish his son's tormentor.
That's awful.
But now we come back to the issue here. If this footage is authentic, then Ihara-san couldn't have been your assailant.
Good night, Kagame.
The victim's estimated time of death and Ihara-san's time of arrival in Tokyo simply don't allow for it. It's just not possible for someone to make that commute. But there's the flip side. If Ihara-san was in fact your assailant, it would mean this murder footage is a fabrication.
I don't know what you expect me to say after all this.
Right? Now you know how we're feeling. That's why we came to see if you had any leads for us.
So that's what this is about.
After hearing your story, I have no doubt you endured a lot that day. Which would obviously mean that murder video was faked.
Then, who shared that video? And why?
Wish I knew. Based on the quality, something this convincing would need quite a budget. Whether it's CG on top of real murder footage, or just a rock-solid AI creation, no way it was cheap. So why go through all this effort to fake a murder? Who would benefit from it? But I have to say, I feel much closer to piecing this puzzle together with your help today. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes.
All right.
And rest assured, this will be the last time you see us.
I have a theory.
Our apologies for the unexpected visit. And for dredging up unpleasant memories.
It's fine. So long as this is really the end of it all.
I have a new theory now based on her testimony in this interview. Yes, I do. Aliens. Obviously, it's aliens. Okay, no. Here's my theory. The whole thing was elaborately staged. Okay? This was staged to be his alibi. He wasn't really there during the groping at all. What happened is he hired someone, or someone helped him. Maybe someone, one of his corroborators. We know there's corroborators to the murder because they showed up and beat the shit out of their friends at the other detective agency to keep them off this case, right? So he has people working with him. What ended up happening was he had someone dressed up in this outfit, this particular very conspicuous outfit, blue hat, green, everything color-coded so it stands out. It's easy to know who it was. It wasn't like all black outfit or anything like that. They wanted him to be distinct, okay? Basically had the guy tail the woman, had this guy grope her on the train, okay? He groped her on the train, absolutely 100%. But it's not Ihara. It was someone else who did it, okay? She did grab the hand of the groper. Now, keep in mind, she's all messed up. She just got groped for like fucking 15, 20 minutes on the train. So her mind is all messed up. She grabs the groper to try to get him, okay? And basically, he turns and starts to run, all right? She follows him. In the blind spot of the subway, there was a body swap. There was a body swap where basically what happened was Ihara committed the murder, changed his clothes to match the clothes of the person who groped her, okay? And then had time to go to the station where the train had arrived 20-some minutes later, and he was hiding in the blind spot. That's what I think happened. And so she's chasing the real groper. The real groper ducked into the blind spot of the camera, and Ihara immediately ran out with the same exact outfit, okay? And so she thought, oh, that's him. Now, here's the thing. You would say, well, I don't understand. In her testimony, right? She said she grabbed his hand and saw him clearly, knew what he looked like. And then when he got apprehended or whatever, that was definitely him, okay? But here's the thing. Here's what I think happened. She just got groped for like 20-some minutes. Emotionally, her head's fucked. It's not her fault. Absolutely not her fault at all. She was just sexually abused on the train, right? So, in her mind, whoever that is there is the attacker, no matter what. She didn't actually get a look at the guy. She grabbed his hand. She chased him. He ducked out of her line of view for a minute, or half a minute. She was chasing him down. She knew what he looked like from his outfit, okay? And then, of course, when you see someone else with the same exact outfit running away, taking off, she immediately, in her head, transfixes the look of, you know what I'm saying, of the groper. That's him. even though maybe that's not the person she saw, or maybe even she never even saw the guy before, she knew the outfit he was wearing. So in her head, she's convinced that's the guy. So of course, if he's running from her, that's him, right? Why else would he be running? So even though she didn't get a good look at him when she grabbed him and stopped the groping, in her head has now associated that's the guy. So then when everyone tackled the guy or whatever, in her head, that's the guy no matter what. He's got the clothes on. Why would he be running from me? So she has justification to think that's him. But in reality, it's not. I think what happened was this was all elaborately staged. But all the evidence is leading to there was a blind spot and something happened in the blind spot. Also, she literally just said in her testimony, I never saw the guy's face on the train until I grabbed his hand. The entire time, so it's 25 minutes they're on the train, he's groping her, and she never saw him. You see? So that's what I think is happening. Okay, I think that in this case, the situation is that she didn't actually see him, but then when she was chasing him, there was a body swap. You know what I mean? Like one guy ducked into the blind spot. He was already there after the murder in the outfit to match. He popped out. So that way that could be his alibi. This was all, that's why. What's better for an alibi for murder? That you got groped, oh no, you get a minor slap on the wrist, go to jail for a few months or whatever his sentence is, or murder. Obviously, it's going to be the minor thing, right? That's what I think, okay? So, all right, that's what I'm going with. At least from all the evidence that's been presented and the way that everything looks here, that's what I would say. So, Kevin apparently through the $1.50 says, that's a spoiler. Did you play the game? No, I have not seen any story elements of this game. The only parts of the game that I've seen are the school missions. That's it. I haven't seen any of the main plot of the game at all. I always made it a point that if Kat was playing it, that I would not stick around if she was going to do any plot advancement. So no, I don't know. This is me guessing. I don't know if this is true or not. This is me guessing based on the facts. Keep in mind, I've played Phoenix Wright. I've played a lot of these games where you got to try to figure the mystery out. That's what I think happened here. I think this was all purposely set to be a way to give him an alibi. I mean, it makes sense too. Obviously, that's a way less crime than the murder. I mean, that's what I think. But the question now is going to be, who is it that's working with him? How did they pull this off? Like, he still would have had to, like, I guess he would have had to commit the murder and then rush to the station in the new outfit. I guess that could have been pulled off rather than sitting on the train for 20 minutes. Because he had 25 minutes to go from the murder to the end stop of the train station. Yeah. Another thing that gave this away is, by the way, I'm going to ban all these idiots right now. Seriously, I'm going to ban all these idiots who are complaining that I'm talking on my own fucking stream. Go fuck yourselves. Seriously, there's people sitting here in the chat. Oh, why is he talking? Why is he playing the game? Fuck off. It's a fucking murder mystery. I'm trying to figure it out. Go fuck yourself. If you're here to complain, I don't want you on my stream. You're a dippy doo-dah motherfucker. Get the fuck out. No one cares about you. Okay. Now, basically the way I see it is, there's a big conspiracy here, but the question is, who is it that's working with this guy, Ihara, to pull this off, right? Like, could it be other cops? Could it be friends of the kid who was killed? I don't know. I don't know who would be working with Ihara to pull something off like this, but we know there's a gang of people involved. I'm also curious, because I don't know if this is actually ties in with the school stories at all. In the school stories, there's a guy, as we already know, named the Professor, who's kind of behind the scenes running all the school story crimes, and I wonder if he has anything to do with the main plot line too. Could this be that Ahara needed help and he reached out to this guy called the Professor to try to contract people to help him with his job or whatever? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I'm going for, okay? I think it was an elaborate setup to give him an alibi. There was a body swap in the blind spot. She didn't actually see the groper on the train. She just thinks she did because she associated the groper with the guy when he got caught. But she didn't realize that there was, maybe 30 seconds where he was out of her line of sight when he was in the blind spot and he swapped with someone else. And that's what I think. So there you go. Okay.
I'd like to report Mamiya-san's account to the rest of the team. Can I count on you to be there?
No.
Sure. Let me give Kaito-san a heads up.
All right, then I'll see you there.
Sorry, Kaido, no KFC tonight. I'm Phoenix Wright, says Jade.
Hey, I'll just go back to Kamurocho. Everything good? Any news?
All good here, man. What's with you? You worried our kid got to me or something?
I mean, they did run their mouths about stabbing us in the back. But if you're good, I'm good. Anyway, I'm heading to Genda so Sari-san and I can go over what we learned from Mamiya.
You're the boss. As for me, I'm calling it a day.
You do that.
So what actually work did you do today, Kaito? Because I'm wondering if I should pay you. It is my detective agency after all. I just want to double check. See, nothing new has been added. So yeah, this chapter, it looks like this chapter they just want you to focus in on the story. So that's what we'll go with. Let's continue on. There we go. Is Kevin banned? How the fuck would I know? I'm sitting here playing a game. Why are you asking me a stupid question like that? How about this, alright? I got something to propose. No drama. No drama at all. I want absolutely no fucking drama. If anyone asks me a stupid question like that, I'm just going to ban you. And then I don't have to deal with the drama anymore because I can focus on the game and have a good time instead of dealing with your little kitty shit. How about that? Okay, here's someone just getting banned immediately. Excellent. Excellent. And you're not coming back. Goodbye. Very nice. That was a quick one.
Are we ready,
Okay.
Yagami-san? Let's start with our visit to Mamiya-san, if that sounds reasonable to you.
Alright.
Yeah, let's start there.
So, the victim's story is completely in line with her court testimony, huh?
That's correct. There wasn't anything new to pick up.
Unfortunately.
In which case, should we look into the murder video instead? Like, figure out how they made it?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Whether that tape's fake or real, someone had to put it online, right? Do we have any theories on who that might be?
Well, the footage showed enough of the surroundings to make the crime scene clear. As somebody who's been there, I can confirm that the blood splotches match what you see in the footage. Which means...
Who uploaded Ahara's murder footage to the internet? Ahara himself, Ahara's accomplices, the Kanagawa detectives, the prosecutor. Probably his accomplices. It's either him or his accomplices. It's one or the other.
the murderer's accomplices have to be the ones who posted it for him.
Yeah, I can't see it any other way.
He was in
I
jail. How
also
did he
agree with
upload it?
Yagami-san.
But in that case, what
You
would
see-
their motive be?
Here is the truth, though. That might not be the case, and here's why. Pretty much any video sharing website now has the ability to upload a video ahead of time, but then schedule what's called a publishing date. For example, when I upload this very video to YouTube, I can tell it to say, I don't want it to show today. Please show it 3 days from now at noon, and it will do that. It'll hold the video. So he could have recorded it, uploaded it immediately, and told it, publish at a later date. But of course, what they're going to argue is, well, it looks like it was filmed with a camera, not a phone. How would he go from a camera directly to the internet right away? Especially if we're arguing this video is real, then how would he have recorded it, uploaded it, and got to the train station all within the time frame? So it would even if it were capable of happening because of publishing at a later date, it still would be a very hard thing to pull off. It does make a lot more sense thinking that it would be his accomplices who uploaded it later. So. Jet Black Threat just did a super chat and said, gaming! Well, thank you so much, Jet Black Threat. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Jet Black Threat. Okay. Jeremy, it's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. Everything's good if you can't tell. We're all okay here. Okay, so FYI, guys, just so you know, we've got about half an hour left on the stream, give or take. I can go a little bit later, but we'll see. Thank you to everyone chilling with me here tonight. Okay.
Maybe they wanted to make a mockery of the police, or even the whole system.
Huh?
We know Ihara got himself convicted for groping, so he'd have an alibi for Mikoshiba's killing. But then, his conspirators turned it around by uploading the murder video online. Almost as if to say, look how he got away with it.
I see. Yeah, that does make it sound like he's taunting them.
That's well and good, but I'd like to shift gears. Let's talk about the actual fabrication of the video. How does one go about that?
Well, for example, the true culprit would be taped murdering Mikoshiba. Then Ihara's face would be copied and blended onto the killers. That's how they'd approach it in a Hollywood movie.
But then, wouldn't you be able to see traces of it being faked?
Tsukumo-san reported that he's found nothing of the sort in his analysis.
We've been down this road before. If we take the stance that the footage is fabricated, we have absolutely nothing to work with.
Then let's tackle this from the stance that the video's actually real. If that's the case, there has to be a flaw in the groping issue. I think we've collected enough evidence to find it too.
So, what does this do for us?
Once Ihara entered the Ikebukuro gates at 7:43 a.m. and stepped onto the platform, he was continuously monitored on camera. But if he really killed Mikoshiba at 7:30 like we saw, there's no way he could have reached Ikebukuro in time. That would mean the person in the footage isn't Ihara, but an impersonator.
That's right. Which is exactly
So
what I
that's
think.
not really him?
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
He's got the sunglasses and hat to help sell the disguise.
Wait, if that's the case, after murdering Mikoshiba, wouldn't Ihara have to swap places with the stand-in sometime before being detained? But we didn't see any opportunity for that.
Yes, you did.
Multiple cameras saw Ihara move right up to Mamiya-san as they board the train in Ikebukuro. And the onboard camera recorded them for the entire commute. Not only was the act caught on tape, but his failed escape from the scene was recorded as well.
This is where you can see him
Ultimately,
clearly. The
Ihara was
end
pinned
footage.
down before leaving Mamiya-san's sight, so she had an eye on him the whole time.
Right. So the current belief is that Ihara was caught on camera the entire time he was at the station.
It's not true.
But wait, that's not entirely accurate, is it?
Nope.
Huh?
Ihara wasn't constantly on camera between Ikebukuro Station and Shinjuku. The proof is the blind spot. Yep.
Remember how we mocked up a diagram of the Shinjuku station platform?
Yeah. Oh, wait! That's it! You could be onto something. There's a point where Ihara wasn't on camera at all.
What is this point you speak of?
Let's all go over the diagram so that everything will be clear. Here's what I want you to see.
There it is.
What the-
Blind spot. Okay. James to me, $1.50 says the voice acting is ass. I mean, what are you talking about? You actually think the voice acting in this game is ass? What game do you think the voice acting is better? I mean it. Like, what are you talking about? The voice acting is great. The fuck are you? Yeah, that's one of the things you cannot complain about in this game, I feel. You could argue that the lip syncing isn't as good in certain scenes because some of the lip syncing is still synced to the Japanese for the pre-rendered cutscenes, but the voice acting is outstanding, dude. I couldn't disagree with you more. Okay.
It's very brief, but there's a moment where Ihara and Mamiya-san can't be seen by the security cameras. The dotted lines on the arrow represent the camera's blind spot.
There you go.
It does appear so. So you're saying this is where the groper, the fake Ihara, traded places with the real one?
Can't say it's impossible, right?
Right. Except if that actually happened, Mamiya-san would have been right behind them at the time. Could the two really swap places without her noticing?
Yes,
In a
because she
crowd like
wasn't
that,
there.
I think it's feasible.
Yeah.
If that really was Ihara's plan, then I'd say he was being careless.
Careless? How?
Well, on the day of the incident, the station was packed for morning rush hour. That means there was no solid guarantee the assailant could make the switch. He could have been nailed by any random passerby before reaching the blind spot.
Good point. Not only that, if Mamiya-san had called for help while the train was still moving, then the first Ihara would have been caught before even reaching the platform.
Oh, I mean, yeah! Called it.
Think about it, Yagami-san. Why would Ihara's accomplices meticulously plan out every last detail of this alibi, only to leave such a crucial component to chance, as Hoshino-kun pointed out?
Oh, just doing my job.
True. Good work, Hoshino-kun. In fact, I think that may back up my own take on it.
Yeah?
What if everything, including the appearance of leaving the plan to chance, was part of the plan?
Can you expound on that?
I'm saying I agree that such an airtight alibi wouldn't have allowed for contingencies. And that takes the question to another level. Just how far did they line up the pieces in advance to make the swap work?
Are you saying there's more to it than we discussed? What did we miss?
Everything on the day of the murder, including the train groping, was planned from the start to finish. What else can we possibly deduce? That Mamiya is also colluding with Ahara. Yeah. Absolutely. Because she is saying things that are making you think that it was Ahara on the train. She claims she saw Ahara when she grabbed his hand. But it's bullshit. She's making it up. She is in cahoots with Ahara. The whole thing from start to finish is fake.
I know this won't go over well.
Yeah.
But what if Mamiya was colluding with Ahara all along?
Huh?
Bear with me.
Yeah.
Let's say Mamiya was in on this and knew about the imposter in advance. If that's the case, the swap could happen right in front of her and no one but the three of them would know.
You're saying the victim of a groping conspired with her assailant beforehand? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's not a suggestion I'm fond of, but I have to consider the possibility of Mamiya playing a part in the conspiracy. I think she did. There might be good reason. Maybe she was friends with the kid who died or whatever. Or maybe she was, you know what I mean? Like, this is a fucked up situation. A kid was bullied so much to the point of having a mental breakdown and murdered himself. You know? So they're thinking, can we get revenge for this heinous act that went completely ignored and unchecked by the system that was supposed to protect people from it? And they felt like this is the only extreme measure they could take, is this elaborate conspiracy, you know?
Let me just say, I'm only trying to work out how a swap like that will be guaranteed to work. Now, if Ahara and his stand-in both know that Mamiya will pretend not to have seen them, they can trade places in the blind spot with impunity.
Yep.
Conversely, if Mamiya wasn't in on the plan, the idea of a swap would never work. We can say with certainty that she would have seen the swap, so she could have even called attention to the real Ahara the moment he stepped in. That way, the people around her would be focused on chasing the correct assailant. The rest is as we know it. They caught Ahara and detained him until the police showed up.
Hold that thought. If your theory is accurate, what about Ahara's trace evidence? Remember that fibers of the victim's underwear were detected on his hand.
Also set up.
Well, that can also be explained by Mamiya being in on the plan.
Yep, it was already pre-done.
For example, while the stand-in was showing himself at the security cameras, Mamiya could have easily provided Ahara access to a pair of underwear at the same time. Maybe the stand-in loitered around for so long because he was letting everyone else get themselves in place.
It's not impossible.
We can work out the other details later. But the point is, Ahara's murder alibi is shot if Mamiya was involved.
Yep, 100%.
In summary, it's possible Ahara disgraced himself to secure an unshakable alibi for Mikoshiba's murder.
I'll concede that it's an avenue worth pursuing.
And when it comes to the prosecution, they can't just admit they got the first case so wrong. Plus, they can't question Ahara about Mikoshiba's murder. In fact, their only option is to claim the tape was faked.
So he managed to make a farce out of the system after all.
Well, his court case for his son's bullying did get more or less thrown out, didn't it? The school, the investigative committee, and the court all agreed there wasn't enough evidence to convict anyone.
Yep.
No surprise for me that the guy held a grudge against the system for so long.
Hold on. Before we all decide on this,
What's up?
the obvious question to me is why would Mamiya be party to such a crime?
That we don't know
She
yet.
appears more than financially stable, and she's even raising a child. So why would she do something so enormously risky as helping establish a murder alibi?
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet. But maybe she was promised something that far exceeds the risk. Or maybe Ahara has some kind of dirt on her even?
Enough to make her help with a murder? What sort of secret would be big enough to force someone into that corner?
A 53-year-old patrolman and a married office worker and mother, the only connection between them so far is the train station itself.
What info do we have on Mamiya anyway? Maybe we can spot a connection to Ahara through her profile.
I'll pull her information. Just a second.
Oh, I just thought of something else those two would have guaranteed by working together.
What's that?
If Ahara wanted to use this crime as a murder alibi, he needed it to blow up into the public eye. But if he had chosen a victim who stayed silent, then nothing would have come of it. A solid plan would need to eliminate that variable, which means Mamiya being an accomplice was crucial to Ahara's success.
That's true.
Looks like Ahara pulled one over on the prosecution then. Had his accomplices right where he wanted them, even his victim. Once we learn how he's connected to Mamiya, we can root out the rest of his team.
Let's see. According to her file, her maiden name is Yui Suzuki. 30 years old, so that's consistent. Originally from Ota, Tokyo. Attended a private high school called Kurakawa Academy. Later graduated from Toto University.
Huh.
Met her husband on the job, apparently. Her husband, Taichi Mamiya, is an industrial designer at Techno Zeta Inc. 6 years ago, she gave birth to their only son, Sota-kun, who's now in 1st grade.
Hold on. You said she went to Kurakawa Academy? I heard that name in Ijincho. If I recall correctly...
Someone spying on me went there? Wasn't I just at that school? Isn't that where Tsukumo graduated? I guess, yeah.
That's not where Tsukumo went, was it? Before, closing himself off to the world?
Nah, Tsukumo-san studied remotely.
I just wanted
He
to
told
check.
me that when we were out having drinks one night.
Okay.
Wait. Tsukumo went out drinking with you?
Yeah, we had fun.
Oh, that's actually
Why
funny.
did you guys even talk about it?
Hey, why am I getting grilled all of a sudden?
Ah!
I agree. This is nowhere near relevant. Yagami-san, what were you saying about Kurokawa Academy?
Oh, right.
So it wasn't that, it was the other thing. Someone who spied on him? Right. So Shui 701 took me $1.50 and said 26. Now, I don't know what that means. Shui, can you confirm this is really you and not someone impersonating you? I don't know what the number 26 means, because actually this makes us at $25 in tips. So I'm not sure what the heck that means. Anyway. Yeah, here we go.
When I went to scope out the murder scene, there were these 3 guys watching the detectives and me. They told us they were just checking things out, but they mentioned they're Kurakawa grads too.
So Kurakawa, the academy has something
Do you
to
have
do
any
with this?
ID on you?
Will my license work?
Akake-san, age 30.
Huh.
Akaike-san, age 30. Mommy is 30 as well.
What's that got to do with anything? Aren't we trying to find a connection between Mamiya and Ahara?
I found the Kurakawa Academy website. Looks like they're pretty prestigious. It's in Tokyo, specifically in Ota. Pretty close to where Mamiya lived. Oh,
What?
the girls there get such cute uniforms.
Oh.
You little... You want to start all over from the bar exam?
Wait, I've seen that uniform before too, actually.
Where?
On an old picture of a teacher at Seiryo High.
Ah.
Sawa-sensei. Ahara's son had confided in her.
So she went there too.
She
Everyone
actually a
there.
Kurakawa grad too? I don't know Sawa-sensei's exact age, but she could well be 30. Maybe all of them are even classmates.
Oh
Could this
shit.
mean they're actually linked? The victim and her up to now unrelated assailant?
So, Mamiya, those people who showed up at the crime scene when he was investigating it, Sayori, or not Sayori, Sawa-san, the teacher, they're all from the same school. This is all an elaborate collusion together to get revenge for the death of the kid. They all worked together behind the scenes. Every one of them. Everyone who you've had like interaction with in this game, right? In fact, wasn't it interesting and crazy that when he interviewed the teacher, she broke down in tears feeling insane guilt that she didn't do enough to save the life of the kid? So someone who's feeling that level of insane guilt likely would do something insane. Just saying. Shuey701 now tipped $25 and said, well, what this means is I was trying to tip you $26 and I fucked up, laughing out loud. That's funny. So he tried to type 26, but it said 26 as his message instead of the amount he sent. All right, so with that tip, we're currently at $50 in tips, which now means that we are currently at $50 total tips. Which also means that it's Gunnar Glass's... Whoa. It means that it's Gunnar Glass's time, and it means that I've typed the wrong number here. It's Gunnar Glass's time, my friends. Thank you for that, Shuey. I appreciate that. We got about 15, 20 minutes left on the stream. Definitely happy that we hit at least one of the Kip's goals. It would be great with the last minute here. If anyone else wanted to support the stream, please do. Because this has been really slow for support, and this is not the first time. I mean, seriously, I don't know what's going on with this game, but I love it. And you guys tell me you like it, so I hope that we'll get more support for it in the long term, because I get the feeling we're not even halfway through it yet, you know? Okay, thank you, Shuey, very, very much. I appreciate that. So now, Gunnar Glasses. All right, excellent. Okay, let's continue.
It's a tenuous link at best. Could fall apart any time. But no true detective alive would pass it on.
So now he's got to research this school. Can he find evidence that they all went to the school and somehow have connection, right? All right, so that's the end of chapter 5. Am I saying a male didn't do it? No, Ahara did it. Ahara committed the murder. But all these people, apparently, it seems like they all were school friends, and they all colluded together to make it happen because they were angry the kid was basically bullied to death.
A previously unseen link is established between the groper and the victim. Charting out their relationship is akin to tracing a spider's web. But with each false thread ruled out, only the improbable truth remains.
I knew those fucking guys who showed up.
Ahara orchestrated the groping as a diversion. And by tarnishing his name, he secures both an alibi and his ultimate revenge.
Chapter 6. Converging heat and cat on a hot tin roof. Look out. Okay. Okay, goodbye, Mayor. I've had enough of your shit tonight. You really just pissed me off, so fuck off. Good.
Hiro Mikoshiba's murder was sparked by the bullying of Toshiro Ihara, who committed suicide 4 years ago. The graphic video that hit the net showed the world how Toshiro's father, Akihiro Ihara, had brutally avenged his son. We also know the father had accomplices. On October 7th at 6:30 a.m., they forced Mikoshiba into a vehicle, took him to an abandoned building, and gravely injured him. Then, around 7:30 a.m., the time frame when Ihara killed Mikoshiba, the other conspirators were probably nearby, even though they weren't on camera.
At the same time, 30 kilometers away at Ikebukuro Station, a man who looks like Ihara is caught on camera. We'll call that guy the stand-in. The stand-in made sure he was in front of the cameras for more than an hour before boarding the 9:06 a.m. train, the same one Yui Mamiya was on. After committing sexual battery on that train, he meets the real Ihara in the camera's blind spot, and they change places. That's how he established a false alibi for Mikoshiba's murder. And to achieve this, the victim, Yui Mamiya, had to have been in on it from the start.
Sure are a lot of people getting their hands dirty for Ihara. Mamiya, Ihara standing on the train, the guys who kidnapped Mikoshiba. How did some troubled cop manage to recruit so many allies?
Well, one person that comes to mind who might be the key to all this is Yoko Sawa. She's a teacher at Seiryo High. She was the only adult Toshiro-kun ever told about the bullying, and she supervised Mikoshiba as a teacher before he disappeared. On top of that, she's a Kurokawa Academy graduate, same as Mamiya. Those trespassers at the murder scene were also from Kurokawa. Since they're all about the same age, it's possible they were all classmates.
So you're saying these classmates are also Iharu's murder accomplices?
If we consider Yokosawa the central link, that's very possible. We do know that as a teacher, she felt deep remorse for Toshiro-kun's suicide. Maybe she recruited her old classmates to help Ihara take his revenge.
Yeah, best not to rule that out. Though I'm hoping that's not the case.
Obviously. Mario is to me $1.15. Says in 2 days, the Nintendo Online Expansion Pass comes out with 64 games. Will you play Paper Mario and Sin and Punishment both on there? Sin and Punishment is a short game as a rail shooter. Paper Mario is a timeless classic. No, I'm not paying Nintendo any additional money for their online service. That sucks as of now. In addition to that, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm actually considering just actually turning off their online service entirely. Right now, I'm paying, what, $20 a year for it? What do I get from it? What game have I played online for Nintendo in the last year? In fact, if you think about it, the last time that I played, like, stuff on there, you know, we're talking full-fledged games, but I never have done online components, and I also haven't played the NES or the SNES on there in over a year. So why would I spend more money? More money. Right? Now let me put it this way. Eventually, maybe there'll be a time when I'm slowed down on games, not a lot of games to play. I'm looking for things to do on stream, looking for a good variety, and maybe oh wow, that N64 selection on there is quite good. All right, maybe then I would say, all right, why not jump in? And what is the year? Is it like $50 or whatever? So $50, but I'm gonna get 3-4 playthroughs out of it, right? Okay. Or if a game, if Nintendo actually has an online component that I care about, like maybe there's a new Mario Kart, maybe there's an you know, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like Nintendo games with online components. There's not that many. Splatoon, right? Like maybe there's a game like that comes out, and I'm like, oh, I want to do multiplayer in a Nintendo game. Then maybe I would consider it. But for me, like I'm looking at like right now, I'm paying $20 a year literally for nothing. They are pocketing my money. I'm not using it. I don't play their games online. There's no games to play online besides like Smash. What the fuck would I play online? You know? I did use the online component when I was playing Pokemon games. Okay? There is a Pokemon game coming up later this month. I don't know if this Pokemon remake has an online component. Coming in January, I believe there's, isn't that the Pokemon Arceus game? Now that one, if I remember correctly, is open world, wandering around with action-based stuff, but I don't know, again, if there's an online component. So, you know, no, I don't think I'm paying more money for something at all, unless there's a reason for me to. Like I said, maybe in a future date, there's a direct game in there that they're offering. Like, oh, that would be a good playthrough. Then maybe I consider doing it. There's no way they're getting my money right now. Seriously. Okay.
Why is that?
It's just, she's a really good teacher.
What?
She's passionate, responsible. She's always putting the students
How do you even know
first.
that? I don't know what she's told you, and she acted in probably she was faking all of this.
A student died on her watch.
Right?
And now another of her students, Mikushiba, is found murdered. So if it turns out she's involved in that, I doubt I'll be able to trust my own judge of character ever again.
Good, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you're just gullible.
Yagami.
Sucker.
I'm going back to Ijincho tomorrow. The plan is to bring up Mamiya's name to Sawa-sensei and see how she reacts. Until then, let's not jump to conclusions about her involvement.
All right.
Can I chime in real quick? I was looking into Kurakawa Academy and I stumbled across something that may be relevant.
Okay.
What's that?
Well, it happened 13 years ago, but there was an attempted suicide. A third year jumped off the school's roof after being thoroughly humiliated.
She talked about that. She mentioned that when she was talking to Yagami on the rooftop. Yeah. Bullying and suicide for 13 years ago. Didn't Sawa-sensei mention that? Yep. If I remember correctly, the student lived but remains in a coma to this day. Oh, no. Are you going to tell me, dude, this student that's in a coma woke up from the coma and now implicated... So watch, this is going to be something crazy. This is going to be nuts. It's going to be crazy.
Actually, Sawa-sensei mentioned that. She said it was a boy in her class.
Watch
right,
this crazy
that's gotta
shit.
be the same case then. The student's name was Mitsuru Kusamoto. He's 30 now, but still in a coma.
Huh, and all that info's on the net?
It wouldn't be normally, but his mother happens to be Vice Minister of the Ministry of Health. Ever heard the name Reiko Kusamoto?
No.
Not once.
I have. It was on the news. They were talking about her and her son.
Vice ministers rank above most government officials, so this lady has quite a position of power at the Ministry of Health.
Well, do you remember the uproar in the health ministry when Vice Minister Ichinose got arrested? Apparently, his successor couldn't contain the resulting chaos, which is when Kusumoto-san got tapped to lead.
Oh, seriously? Ichinose was from the last game. He got arrested as a result of your investigation.
They couldn't afford another criminal scandal, so her promotion was out of the blue. She was a safe choice, a veteran with tenure and experience. Not to mention, her son's tragedy made people see her as a more sympathetic figure. Very popular. She's kind of a new generation heroine, so to speak.
Huh.
Is any of that relevant to the case at hand, though?
Nope.
Who knows? But Reiko Kusumoto and Ahara both have children who were bullying victims. I don't think that's a connection we can afford to overlook, if you ask me.
Okay, so Kusumoto's son. What exactly happened to him?
Let's see. He was bullied by a fellow third year at his school, Shinya Kawai. The records say he harassed Mitsuru-kun every day, in and out of school. Well, one time he even stuffed dirty rags in his mouth.
Oh, nice.
That's so cruel.
The classic
Yeah, and
bullying
the teacher
strategy,
was a real
you know?
piece of work. Apparently he knew, but he just smirked and said, "Don't overdo it."
Oh, I remember now. The media pounced on that one hard.
If they were classmates, then both Sawa-sensei and Mamiya would know about this.
And maybe because they couldn't save Mitsuru-kun, their guilt left them open to Ahara's persuasion.
But to prove that, we'll have to hear from them directly. I'll talk to Sawa-sensei first thing tomorrow.
Again? He's gonna go fucking talk to the teacher again. Again? At this point, I'd be like, let's just bug her or something. How many times are you gonna ask the same person? Wow.
That'd be helpful. In the meantime, I'll be working on Ahara's appeal. It's clear they missed something important in the trial, since Ahara is apparently innocent of sexual battery. Being that he was out committing murder at the time.
What started as a simple harassment case sure has blown up big.
Pretty crazy. This is how it happens. The dominoes start to fall and then holy shit, right? Guess I'll head back to the office for today. So that's the conclusion of the story for now.
What we're dealing with is a man who disgraced himself and the justice system, all in the name of vengeance. At this point, I doubt much can scare him. You have to be a certain kind of desperate to sink that low.
Eric says, did Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney and Law & Order Special Victims Unit have a baby? That's kind of a really good comparison. That's actually a pretty good way to describe this game at this point, I think.
I admit, I used to see Ahara as nothing more than a shameless cop who got what he deserved. But I guess that's what he wanted us to believe, along with the prosecution and the public at large.
Thanks again, Yagami-san. Try to relax for once. You've earned it.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, man. And over this crazy shit. We gotta go back to, fucking with the teenagers at the high school. Beating them up and riding fucking robots and shit. What is this heavy stuff, man? This is unacceptable. We're supposed to have lighthearted humor, comedy in this game. Where did it get so serious all of a sudden? God damn, dude. Go to have a good night. Derek, I've never once in my life seen anything with Betty White. Seriously. Everyone always talks about her, jokes about her. I never saw Golden Girls. I never saw nothing like that, so I don't really care about it. You get everyone's infatuation with her. Buzz? There's a new Buzz in the area. I want to investigate. Whoa, look at that move. That was pretty cool. Oh, this is cool. A running, inverted, spinning aerial DDT move that I've unlocked. That is a cool move.
Really, guys?
Very nice. I like that one a lot. Okay. Like I said, last time around, if you remember, I spent a ton of the SP buying combat moves. So now I have all these new moves, I don't even know how to do them. Running around unlocking random moves. Doing crazy shit. What the? Let me get in here. Alright, we're almost at the end of tonight's stream, guys. Thank you for being a chill audience tonight. Excuse me. And I hope that you guys will join me again in a couple nights when I play again. Last chance, if you guys would like to contribute and support these streams, since I am trying to play this game more and more, I would appreciate it. What is this now? Oh, look at this. It is I, Ryan Acosta, Shinobi Sensation from the Shadows. It has been quite a while, Master Yagami. You'll be excited to discover I've opened up a dojo in Kamurocho. However, a rival dojo opened up soon after and began poaching my students left and right. I wish to discuss appropriate countermeasures, and thus I have contacted you. I shall await you at M-Side Cafe. P.S. Fair warning, I've activated my chameleon camouflage technique, so keep a sharp lookout. You'll find that my ninjutsu has improved over time. Believe it. Oh god, it's the fucking Naruto phrase. So if you don't remember this guy is completely white. He's not an Asian ninja. He's white, but he acts like a ninja. And I remember in the original game, he was like hiding and trying to blend into walls and shit. He was actually one of the people who would randomly... Oh, here he is. He would randomly encounter you in the streets, and he would help you with combat and stuff. So, I ran into him 3 years ago, still finding it amusing. An American ninja came to help me fight a gang. Now he's opened up a dojo in Japan. I'm not sure what kind of a person would go there, but apparently he's good enough to have a rival. Anyway, I need to go find out more details. So there's a new side mission for me to do. I think for now I'd like to advance the plot. Derek says, I don't think Yagami in the first judgment bothered someone so much. Yeah, no, right, like, this is ridiculous. Like, he just keeps going back to the school, harassing the same teacher over and over. Last time she broke down in tears. It's like, geez, what's next? He's the new bully. Yagami is the new bully. Oh, nice.
What?
Coffee.
Yo, you took your sweet time. But I got the gist of it. You're going to Ijincho, right? To meet with Sawa-sensei?
Kaito-san, you do realize that only I can meet her. You can't get into the school.
Another day off for Kaito.
No, but if you end up taking it off campus, can you at least call me this time?
Don't you understand the situation? Sawa-sensei might be tied to murder.
You sure you understand it? Come on, she would never do that.
Oh, boy.
That a fact?
So happens I'm a great judge of character. Especially when it comes to women.
Oh, sometimes I forget who I'm talking to.
Alright, Slayer has tipped me $1.50 and says maybe next time mix it up a bit with some side quests and make some progress in the school stories. You still have a long way to finishing it up. Right, I mean, here, today this was good because everything we had to do was in Kamurocho. And so because I focused on Kamurocho, we got a lot done in the story. In fact, we got to a whole new chapter. But now next time around, you're right. I think next time what I could do is a mix again. Because now we've done 2 to 3 straight streams that was mostly story. So, thank you, Little Crow, for a super chat. I know I probably didn't spell your name right. It's okay. I typed it very quickly, and I think I typed a couple letters double there. A little bit of money. So, yeah, I think, yeah, she head to a Ijincho. We have to go back to a Ijincho now. And I bet in a Ijincho, I bet in a Ijincho there'll be a bunch of side content again. Right now, the only side content that we have here is the dueling dojo mission with the ninja guy. I really don't feel like doing that right now, and I get the feeling that one will stay around for a while. Let's go to Ijincho. Where's their cab? Let's go to Ijincho, and we'll probably, that's where we'll call it quits for tonight. And then next time around in a couple days, I'm playing this again. Actually, it would be Tuesday night? Yeah, Tuesday night I'm playing this again. And that's when we'll probably do some stuff in Ijincho, where there's a mix, fuck. There's a mix between side content and story. We'll see. Derek, it was good to have you here tonight for the stream. Did I like coffee when I first had it? No, when I was younger and I tried coffee, I didn't like it. Then, of course, I tried it differently. Instead of just having a brewed coffee, I would get one of the fucking, what do they used to have at Dairy, not Dairy Queen, what the frick? Dunkin' Donuts. What do they call those? They're drinks there that have the sugar and everything in them. They're not Frappuccinos, they're something else.
First stop, it's gotta be Chinatown.
Culottes.
Can't face Sukumo on an empty stomach.
Never a dull day for you, huh, Kaito-san?
It's a selection, man. I've already worked out the math. I figure if I hit 4 or 5 places a day...
Uh-oh, what's going on?
What's up?
Check that out. It's Akutsu.
What's Akutsu doing here?
Kamurocho thugs are looking pretty out of place here.
What the hell?
Yo! Akutsu! What are you fools doing in town? Hey! Don't ignore me!
Nah.
It's Kaito! Fancy seeing you here!
I'm kind of busy here, man. Catch you later.
What an asshole. Ijincho's a long way from home. And he's traveling with a small army.
Would he have come all this way because of us?
Nah, we just caught him totally off guard. He's not out here for us. Gotta be something else.
But something's not right if they're just cruising around.
What the fuck, yo?
It's
That
gotta
guy
be
looks
an
so
arcade
weird.
Operation. He brought too many guys for it to be something more personal.
Yeah. Kamurocho streets can be tough. Maybe they gave up. Well, whatever they came out here to do, we ought to keep our noses the hell out of their business. But you better hustle. You're gonna be late for class. I'll catch you after school.
Eric says, holy crap, the graphics are pretty good in this game. I mean, I have to agree with you at the same time. Like, no exaggeration. Ever since PS5 and Xbox Series X came out, like, almost every game I play is, like, insane graphics now. Like, crazy photorealistic shit. Like, look how realistic this game looks, right? It's nuts. Alright, so, yes, of course we have to go to Serio High School. What else is new? Has anything else appeared new? We've got Flight of the Game Creator. Oh, okay. That was the game developer who was hiding out. We could maybe do that side mission. There's a new side mission at school. We're not even aware what it is. Okay. This is the VR, and we don't have enough. I think we need 3 play passes. I think as of now, we only have 2 play passes, if I am correct. Where would they be listed? Because those are usable items. Perhaps here. Let's see. Unless these are only craftable items, or items used for crafting. Oh, come on. Play pass. 2 of 99. If I have 3, then I could play the next stage. And if I remember, there's a story-based mission there. Once I find my 3rd play pass, I don't know where that would be. Okay. Oh, by the way, I was assuming you'd be able to keep that bartender disguise. I was correct. It's now there, listed as bartender style, for when you have an opportunity to use a disguise again. Okay. Alright, Derek, I'll see you Tuesday night. Everyone, it is time to save up and say... Oh, I didn't even know you could do what I just did. I thought you had to manually do it if you take up and down. It does some full zoom in. I zoom out. Let's save up. Thank you guys. You've been a great audience. Thank you for chilling with me here tonight. I appreciate you guys hanging out and having a good time. And the conversation and the support. For everyone who did support the stream as well, thank you again. It is one of the slower streams. It's so weird. This game is so weird. Sometimes I play it, and like people come out and support the shit out of it, and other times I play it slow. I don't know. I just don't understand it. I don't know. I like the game though. The plot's great. It's picking up now, right? The plot is finally kind of picking up because we focused on the story for 2-3 streams. Like I said, maybe what we'll do on Tuesday night when we play again is we'll do some variety. We'll go to the school, we'll see what that new side mission is at the school, maybe see how the clubs are doing. If maybe now, because we advanced the plot 3 chapters since last time we did it, maybe now we can do more clubs and stuff. Yeah, I'm down for that. Okay, guys, so thanks. Yes, and just for clarification purposes, whether you're watching this live on stream or you're watching this on demand on YouTube, today is Saturday night, and I'm playing it again on Tuesday night. It's actually being pushed back a day that I think it was supposed to be played because of scheduling changes. But yeah, it should be Tuesday night. I'll play another session of this. Okay, guys? All right, so thank you. Great stream. Great progress. Thank you, everyone. Awesome.